I think it's probably more accurate to refer to this as a ceasefire deal rather than a peace deal. To discuss this and more, please welcome back to the program longtime former Democrat Assemblyman from New York, Dov Hikind. Dov, as always, thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure. Always great to be with you, Larry.
All right, Dov, give me your thoughts.
You know, I think something remarkable is happening, maybe not to the extent that some people in Washington want to believe, but it's something that could be absolutely magnificent. We'll find out in due time. Number one, if those hostages can come back home, the 20 that are alive, obviously that would be spectacular. With regard to a lot of other parts of this, if Hamas is not disarmed, if they are permitted in any fashion to continue to play a role in Gaza, we will be back, God forbid, to things like October 7th. The Hamas needs to end in Gaza, period. Will that happen? Larry, I don't know. We'll see in due time. But again, those hostages coming home is just, number one, on a personal level for the people of Israel, for the families. I can only imagine, God, if it was my brother, okay? I mean, what I'd be going through for the past 2 years with what was going on in Gaza and the way these people were treated. But, the president is amazing, doing great work, miraculous work. Exactly where this ends up at the end of the day, we will find out. But this is a positive development.
Dov, what brought Hamas to the table?
I think it was a combination of things. There's no question that the role of the military, Israel was moving into Gaza City, major way, in a organized fashion. There is no question that they were going to destroy physically this organization in due time. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but that was going to happen. So I think that was part of the equation, but a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
Larry, we don't know the whole story. I know what I'm reading in the newspapers. I know what I'm reading on social media. But I believe there's a lot more to this story than we are actually aware of. And I've been talking to people in Israel who know what's going on. It's a great development. When those hostages actually come back, Larry, they come back and they're home, I can truly celebrate. A lot of people are already celebrating. I want to see those 20 back in Israel with their families. But there's a lot more. Look, Larry, all the hate that created October 7th, where human beings were capable of such brutality against men, women, and children. Larry, that hasn't disappeared. The hate that a lot of the people in Gaza and other parts of the Middle East, what they study in school, hatred of the Jewish people, year after year, class after class, that is suddenly not going to disappear. It's going, by the way, one of the countries in the Middle East that actually has changed their curriculum is Saudi Arabia. They've changed their curriculum in terms of teaching Jew hatred. Look, Larry, if I went to school, first grade, second, fourth grade, fifth, high school, etc., and all I was learning in my books and the teachers is to hate a particular group of people. Larry, I grew up to hate that particular group, right? I mean, in Nazi Germany, regular people, the propaganda, Goebbels, the propaganda that appeared in the media portraying Jews in the most obscene and horrible fashion created a situation where regular, ordinary Germans were capable of participating in the annihilation of 6 million Jews, 2 2 million children. How did that happen? How is that possible? It wasn't just a couple of bad apples who did that. It was created an environment where murdering Jews was your commitment to Nazi Germany. So, great developments. The president, I can't keep up with him. I don't think anyone can. I mean, it's like constant, does he ever sleep? Does he ever anything, except for being out there? I hope he's not overdoing it, but it's spectacular to watch. What is he, about 30 years old, 40 years old? I mean, it's magnificent to watch him in action.
Dov, when we come back, I want to ask you not only about whether or not Hamas will disarm, but one of the other points in the 20-point plan is that they have no role in whatever governance comes on after Hamas. Also, I sent you an article about the attitude regarding Palestinians versus Israel from the so-called Gen Z people aged between 13 and 28. And 75% of them side with the Palestinians. I want to ask you about that trend, which I think is very, very alarming. And as you know, you guys are about ready to elect a mayor who says if Bibi Netanyahu sets foot in New York, since he's been indicted as a war criminal by the International Criminal Court, he will have him arrested. I want to talk to you about all of those things. Dov Hikind is my guest, former Democrat, long-term member of the New York Assembly. There is a poll about Hamas, which has, of course, been designated as a terror organization by the State Department. Older Americans support Israel over Hamas by an average of 75% to 25%. However, when asked, quote, in the Israel-Hamas conflict, do you support more Israel or Hamas? Gen Z, these are people aged 13 to 28, support Israel by just 55% to 45%. My guest is Dov Hikind, longtime New York lawmaker. Dov, what do you make about the position of these Gen Z people? They barely support Israel over Hamas.
I'm not surprised, and to be very honest, Larry, that problem of falling support for Israel is there among the American people in numbers that we have not seen in a very long time. I'm just being straightforward. The polls indicate that. We see it. We hear it. Look, if you are watching CNN or most networks in America, and you're watching the media coverage of what's going on in Gaza, you can easily turn against Israel and not understand what exactly is going on. What is Israel doing? You look at mothers with their babies in their hands. You see the incredible destruction. So the point of all this is that Israel has done a lousy job. Israel's an amazing country. Its technology, its advancement in so many different fields. It's a remarkable, it's a little place, for God's sake. Mm-hmm. I challenge anyone, go to a map and look for Israel. You're going to have a hard time finding it because it's so small. It's an amazing place, amazing people. But they've done a crappy job, what's called in Hebrew Isbara, being able to explain to the world what's going on. Justice is on the side of Israel. Israel is not doing anything wrong, but nonetheless, Larry, it stands accused of genocide. It stands accused of so many things that are you see things where Israel is compared to Nazis. The Israelis are Nazis, right? And they get away with it. And I have to say that one of the most remarkable individuals, Charlie Kirk, who we miss tremendously. But Charlie Kirk wrote a letter to the Prime Minister back in May. Very powerful letter. He basically presented exactly what I am saying. He said Israel is losing support. And the reason for that is because they're not doing what they need to do. Israel's position is a very powerful one, but you got to present it to the world in a powerful way. And it's not being done. There are amazing people like Larry Elder, few others who stand up and are great friends of the Jewish people and the state of Israel. They get it. They know what the score is. But most people are just not aware. And they're watching the kind of stuff, as I was saying before, when you are watching. I got to tell you, Larry, when my wife and I get up in the morning and we have our cup of coffee, I turn on CNN before anything else. I'm a Fox fan. I do Fox on a regular basis. I'm doing it on Monday again, but I watch CNN. And the way they present it, they don't present the facts. They have an agenda, and CNN is only an example of so much of the other media. So they create a situation where people have moved. There's a Quinnipiac poll out in New York that I just read a few minutes ago that shows the same kind of falling support for Israel here in New York, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So, again, if you don't do the job, if you don't put the time in, and you're not smart as to how you do it, you're going to end up being exactly in the position that we are in at the present time.
45 seconds left off. Talk to me about the probable election of Zohran Mamdani and the things he said about Israel, referring to Israel as committing a genocide. He also referred to Israel as apartheid. And, of course, he said he's going to arrest Bibi Netanyahu if he comes to New York City. You have about 30 seconds.
Look, he is an incredibly dangerous individual, not just for those who care about Israel, but if you care about what America is all about, you care about crime, you care about all the important things in life, this is one of the most dangerous and one of the most effective people, Larry, at the same time. He is no pushover. He's got a smile that lights up the world. Take a look. I mean, look at his commercials. He is so freaking dangerous. It's unbelievable.
We're going to have to leave it there. Dov, as always, thank you very much for coming on. God bless.